If you have to switch your display resolution often, it can become pretty tiring using the Windows display settings every time and confirm that you actually want to stick to that resolution. Welcome, I'm Cons, and in this video we are going to build a small Python application that lets you switch your display resolution from the Windows system tray with only 2 clicks. To change the Windows display resolution using Python, we're going to use the pywin32 package, which allows us to access the Windows API through Python code. And to set everything up correctly, we're first going to create a virtual environment in the directory we are going to write our code in. So first we go into the terminal and enter python m-venv.venv to create a virtual environment. Then we have to activate the environment with .venv scripts activate, and this will create the virtual environment we're going to install all the packages we're going to use for this project in. So now we can install the pywin32 package with python -m pip install pywin32 and press on enter, and that will install the pywin32 package into our virtual environment. Now that we've installed the pywin32 package, we can start writing our first Python code that will change the Windows display resolution. And I adapted that code from Peter Wood over on Stack Overflow, for which you can find the link down below in the description. So first we're going to import the pywin types, win32 API and win32 con, which are all necessary to interface devices under Windows using Python. Then we're going to create a dev mode object with the dev mode type from pywin types, which more or less represents our display we're going to change the resolution for. When we have this object stored in dev mode, we can change the attributes pals width and pals height, and I chose a resolution of 1440p, which results in a width of 2560 pixels and a height of 1440 pixels. After we've changed the width and the height, we also have to tell our dev mode object that we have changed them and that those changes should be reflected in the device. For that, we're going to use the fields attribute and set the dmpels width and dmpels height flags with a OR operator, and those flags are provided with the win32 con. So here we use the fields attribute, and then we use the OR to concatenate those flags and store them in the fields. And last but not least, we call the win32 API with change display settings, and we pass our dev mode object, and as flags we're going to pass 0. To show you that it actually works, I can't record my screen, otherwise OBS will crash. So I'm going to use my phone to film it, and when we press Control F5 and run that application, we can see it changes the display resolution to 1440p, and we can even change it back to 3840 by 2160, which is 4K, and when we run that again, we can see the display resolution changes back again. Whether you're a seasoned programmer or a Python beginner, everyone likes cheat sheets that help you to quickly look up important functions or certain properties of a programming language. And I actually prepared several Python cheat sheets you can pick up for free as a high-resolution PNG in my Gumroad shop. And if you want to print out those cheat sheets, you can even get a PDF version for a small amount of money in my Gumroad shop or as a tier 1 or higher Patreon subscriber. So check out the links down below in the description to pick up your Python cheat sheets. Now that we can change the Python display resolution with Python, we need a way to make it more accessible so that we don't have to run this Python code manually every time. And for that, we're going to create a system tray application using the pystray package that allows you to put a program into the Windows system tray. And for that, we're going to install the pystray package via pip once again, m-pip install pystray, and click on enter. With the pystray package installed, we can start making our first Python system tray application. For that, we're also going to use a piece of code I found over on Stack Overflow and adapt it a little bit for this video. And you can find the link to that post by Sebastian down below in the description. Of course, we start off importing pystray, then we import pillow to give our application an icon. And then we also import menu item from pystray, which gives us the ability to display a menu when we click on our system tray icon. Then we have a callback function. I come back when we finished all the other code. First we create an image, so we use pillow image, open the icon PNG, which we can see later on. Then we create a menu for our system tray icon, and this menu is just a tuple, and this tuple contains items and which we imported up here, and each item has a title and a callback function. At the moment, those items don't have a callback function because I just want to demonstrate how to use pystray before we add more functionality to it. Then our last item here is quit, and that calls the onQuit callback. Then last but not least, we create icon, which is the application that will then run in the systray. We use pystray icon, give it a name, we give it our image we just imported through Pillow, and we give it a title and the menu we created up here. Then we use icon.run to display our application down in the Windows system tray. And now to the onQuit callback function, which just uses the visibility attribute and sets it to false, such that we don't see the icon anymore, and then uses icon.stop in order to stop the application from running. And now let's run that application. We press Ctrl F5 here in Visual Studio Code, and we can see our system tray icon appears down here. And this is the little icon I gave it. RS stands for resolution switcher. When I click on it with right click, I can see the menu items I just created in the menu tuple. And when I click on quit, the icon disappears because we quit the application completely. Now that we can change the display resolution in Python and we can display an application in the system tray of Windows, let's put both together and create an application that lets us change the display resolution from the Windows system tray. The Python code is pretty straightforward. First, we start off importing all the packages we have seen before in the two scripts up here. Then I created a new callback function on set display resolution with two parameters, width and height. And those two parameters are passed to the dev mode, pulse width and pulse height, and then later on we set the Windows display resolution. So if we call that function with a custom resolution, your display will be set to that resolution when calling the function. Then we still have the onQuit callback function, which we've seen before, which will close our application. And down here we have the main function. And here we first create an image using Pillow for our icon for the application. Then we have a look at our menu, and we can see we still have quit, but here are the menu items have changed. So the first one is 2160p, which is the 4K resolution I want to switch to, and 1440p, which is the 1440p resolution I would like to switch to. As a callback function, we're going to use a lambda, which will call the onset resolution with the appropriate resolution we would like to switch to as pixels here. And we do that for 4K and 1440p, so we have different parameters here. And down here we just changed the name of the application to resolution switcher, gave it an icon, gave the application the title resolution switcher, then used the menu, and then just call icon run, and this will run our application from the Windows system tray. So let's click on Ctrl F5, let it run, and we can see it pops up down here. And when we click on it with a right click, we can change the display resolution. As a last step, we would like to add this resolution switcher application to the Windows Auto Start, so it's always available when you start up your computer. And for that, we're going to use a combination of a batch file and a Visual Basic script. The batch file is for starting the application, and the Visual Basic script is responsible for running the application in the background. So first we need the batch file, which first goes into the directory, activates the virtual environment, and then runs the Python file. So first we go into the directory with cd, then we enter the path for the directory, then we use end, everything has to be in one line, and all the commands have to be chained together. Then we use /venv/scripts/activate, that will activate our virtual environment, and then end -w and resolution switcher py. And we use -w because that allows us to run Python windowless. With the batch file finished, we can go over to the Visual Basic script. The Visual Basic script allows us to run our application in the background windowless. For that, we are going to create a W shell object and set that over here. Then we call W shell run. We use those two characters and an end to enclose the path to our batch file here and terminate that with 0. So this line will run our batch script. To check that the combination of a batch file and the Visual Basic script actually works, we go into the Explorer, into the directory we have stored all the code in, and first we see our resolution switcher is not running in the system tray. But if we double click on the resolution switcher.vbs, the Visual Basic script, and open the system tray once again, we can see now the resolution switcher is available. To start the resolution switcher application on the Windows startup, we have to create a shortcut for the Visual Basic script and then move that shortcut into the startup directory. So for that, we first right click on the resolution switcher.vbs and go to show more options. When you're on Windows 11, go to send to desktop create shortcut. And when we have a look at the desktop, we can see we now have the resolution switcher shortcut, and we can double click it, and this will launch the application in our system tray. Now to add this shortcut to the Windows startup, we have to move it to a different directory. For that, we first press Windows R, that brings up the run dialog, and in here we are going to enter shell :startup and press on OK, and this will open a new Explorer window, and in this folder all the applications that are in this folder will be launched at the Windows startup. So now we go to our desktop and we just move the resolution switcher shortcut in here, and we can close both, and when we now reboot our computer, this application will be started when we log into our account. Now that we've booted up Windows, we can log in, and if we have a look in our system tray down here, we can see that our resolution switcher is now available, and when we right click we can switch the resolution to 1440p, and we can even go back to 4K, and this is only done with 2 clicks. I hope this video was helpful for you. You can find all the code on GitHub and as a written article on my website. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to pick up your Python cheat sheets in my Gumroad shop or my Patreon, with a big shout out to my Patreon subscribers. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I make a new video on Python, programming and computer science. I hope to see you in my next video, and I wish you a fantastic day. Bye bye!